Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the GrTwosdays Championship, held on a Tuesday evening under the Ultimate Racing League, the URL. We are here with the League 2 guys, and we are at Croix B, a few hours after the League 1 guys had their race here, round 4 of the championship. We have a new entrant with us here from this round, another member of the Hellenic Knights racing team, HKRT. And he, as you can see, has managed to put it on pole. So he's starting as he means to go on. His name is Sue. I hope I've pronounced that correctly. Reminiscent of the Cristiano Ronaldo celebration, I believe. Not sure if it's spelt the same or if that's even intentional, but it's what it made me think of. Maybe he'll be doing that celebration after he gets out the car in the pit lane at the end of the race. Maybe he won't. We shall see. But as I said, he's put it on pole. So you can see there in the Martini livery NSX that we are racing here in this championship. And in second place, another member of the HKRT racing team, Damien. He's popped it into second place. And then we've got the first of the URL guys. So we've got Rufus in third, Muhammad Ali in fourth. And then we've got Pablo Jr. in fifth. Titty Milk is there in sixth. So all of these guys, regular members of the URL leagues that you will see on other commentators' YouTube channels, or indeed if you join and take part in any of our races. In seventh, we've got the third member of the HKRT team, Speed Demon, followed by IQ in eighth. And then the final member of the HKR team in ninth, and that is Paris. And then in 10th, we have Vane. And at the back, we have the return of Hoyland. So it's good to see him back in that GR2 car to have a crack at getting some points around St. Croix. So these guys have been racing for a few rounds now. We are on to round 4 of the championship. And just give you a quick little rundown of where we're at. So after 3 rounds, we have Damien in first place in the championship so far on 53 points, followed by Muhammad Ali on 45, and Paris, HKRT Paris, also on 45 points. So not much separating these guys at the top. And that goes down to 4th and 5th, URL Rufus and Pablo Jr., both on 41 points. So it's all to play for, and these guys are going to be battling it out to get as many points on the table as we start approaching the halfway point of the season. So let's get this race underway and see where we finish. As Stu takes us off onto the first lap, the klaxon goes, and here we go. As they all go around the first corner, hopefully all looking safe. Titty Milk a little bit wide, but he's kept them together as IQ and Paris battling it out already. IQ and Speed Demon, sorry. And IQ's picked up a half-second penalty. So I'm imagining that's on turn 1. If you cut the corner a little bit too much, you will pick up a penalty. Oh no, we've lost Sue. Straight from pole, and we've lost his span. What has happened there? Let's have a little look. Oh, so we've got a bit of argy-bargy with Damien and Rufus, and Sio goes around the left, and he's gone deep. Oh, and he just catches the grass, and he spins a full 360, and he's back underway, but that's given the impetus there to Rufus and Damien, who are now up front. Rufus has made moves early on and taken that second spot there from Damien, which has now become first after Sio's unfortunate spin on the grass. But Rufus is going to be looking to really push and break that little toe that he's got there and get himself back up into the top paying positions after his win at Le Mans. I think he did. I think he won the Le Mans race by quite a margin, if I remember rightly. So not too good last week out at Bathurst, but looking to start strong and hopefully finish strong here at St. Croix. Let's have a little look down through the fields. We've got Damien there in second, Muhammad Ali there in third, Pablo Jr. in 4th, all benefiting from that one place. We've got Teddy Milk in 5th, Speed Demon in 6th, and then we've got IQ and Paris and Vane all battling it out. IQ carrying the half-second time penalty from turn 1 on the beginning of this first lap of the race as they come round to finish this first lap. So IQ now going to be serving his penalty. Bit of a painful one, it's on a little straight, so you do lose a little bit more than that half a second, and you lose the advantage going into that corner, but it looks like IQ has managed to hold off. A little bit of a nudge there from Paris, as Paris almost looked like he was diving into the pits, but the biggest winner from that is Vane, who's moved up to 7th place, and IQ and the Paris are now battling it for 8th and 9th. So great stuff from Vane there to keep out the way and make his way through the middle of the fighting IQ and Paris as they move along into lap 2. Siu there in 10th, looking to recover now from his first spin, so he's got all the work to do from the back of the grid. See how quick he is and see how quickly he makes his way through the pack. Hoyland there in 11th, just trying to cling on to the back of these guys. Learning every week is Hoyland. He's been training and practicing and trying to find where everybody is making time and working really hard, so it's great to see him back. As, oh no, after all that effort that Vane's put in, he's lost it on the entrance to the bridge. So I wonder if it's that bump that's caught him out as you turn in. Yeah, he's got the bump as he's been on the throttle and it's spat him straight out into the barrier. So really unfortunate for Vane after making headway in the early stages, and he's now dropped to the back and with it all to do as we move back up to the front of the grid. So we're back with Rufus, then we got Damien spreading out a little bit with Pablo Jr. So it looks like we've lost Grahamid Ali's back there in 5th, lost a couple of places. Didn't spot that on the map while we were watching what was going on further back, but the result is Grahamid has lost he's lost a place. I don't think from where he qualified, but he'd be disappointed as he was up a few places after the instance from the guys ahead. So we got Speed Demon there in 6th. IQ just managing to keep Paris at bay at the moment. He's not picked up any further penalties, so he'll be pleased with that. So he's going to be looking to pull away from Paris, and as Paris goes wide, Paris goes deep. Oh, what's happened there? It's all gone wrong there for Paris as he's come onto the exit of that corner. He's come round to the right, and then it's a really fast sweeping left, and you're flat out through this section. But he's got it all wrong on the turn in, and he hasn't ghosted like a lot of the time that happens. And Siu's just gone straight out the back of him. Really unfortunate there from Paris, and there wasn't really anything Siu could do anything about it. And Paris has hit the wall there on the exit as well. So Paris all out of sorts, and he loses that place to Siu as Siu's made up. It was way up into 8th place to start repairing the damage he did from that earlier spin. Looking at the top, so we've got a move from Pablo, so we will go back. I don't think that happened that long ago, and we'll see exactly what happened with Pablo there. Oh, it looks like Damien's done the same. So we'll just go back 10 seconds there and just see what happened to Damien. It looks like he's gone wide like Paris did while we were watching, and he's hit the wall on the exit onto the start-finish straight. Yeah, he's just got that all wrong, and he's come across to the right there, almost pushed Pablo Jr. into the wall, reminiscent of a move that Michael Schumacher tried. I think it was on David Coulthard back in the F1 days, sort of edging him towards the wall. Feel free to comment if I'm wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure it was Michael Schumacher. I'm not sure which circuit it was at, but I remember a move of that sort of essence happening. But nobody's been murdered, so we're all good. We can keep going, and everybody is on the straight and narrow. No damage done. Teddy Milk looking good in 4th. Grahamid Ali has dropped back a little bit as we come around halfway through lap 3. Speed Demon there in 6th, IQ in 7th, and Siu moving onwards in 8th, looking to pull away from Paris, who is in 9th. Hoyland in 10th, and Vane sitting at the back there in 11th after his earlier incident. So we're just coming to the end of lap 3, so we'll have a little look down through the grid while everything's a little bit spaced out, and we'll, oh hang on the map, we've lost, Hoyland, we've lost Hoyland. Just caught out of the corner of my eye there, a little spin, and it was Hoyland, so he's just outbraked himself and gone deep into that left-hander, and he's in the barrier, but he'll get going, it's a long race, he's on the hard tyre, so he is on the faster compound, so if he can get back going and get some lap times in, he's got the faster compounds to come, and he should then be able to make up a little bit of time. So got a lot of work to do, but it's not all over for Hoyland just yet. So we'll go back up and we'll have a look down through the grid at the tyres that everyone's on, and see if we can see any strategies that might play out. So we got Rufus there on the soft tyres. We're just completing lap 3, and those tyres are looking a little bit rough. Looking okay on the fuel, but pushing hard is Rufus there in first place on those soft tyres. Pablo Jr. up into a second after that move there, and it looks like we've lost Damien to a couple more places, so maybe he made another mistake. We will pick that up as we move down the grid. So Pablo Jr. there on the medium compound tyre, and looking to put in a fastest lap of the race there. He's gone purple in sector 1, so he's looking good and confident on those medium tyres. Then we've got Teddy Milk also on the mediums in third place, looking good. Muhammad Ali then in fourth after losing a few spaces early on. He's on the hard compound tyre, so he's got to work really hard to stay with the guys up in front on the faster compounds. But he's obviously on for a personal best there, as you can see it pop up. And he's going to be looking to stretch this hard compound tyre as far as possible, without losing too much pace, in order to maximise the amount he can push, as he just brushes the wall there on the exit of that, halfway around the turn. And we move into fifth, so Damien looking like he wants to make up for those earlier issues that he's had, and we've also got Sue there in seventh, so he's made a move up on Paris, as IQ battling with Damien now. Damien going around the outside, reminiscent of the move Oz made. Is he going to do it all the way around the outside? He has. He's done it all the way around the outside, and he's made that stick, as Sue looks to go the inside of IQ there as well. And now Sue on the outside of IQ. So these guys really sticking it to IQ then, and they've both gone through. Really unlucky there from IQ. But he is on that hard. No, they're all on the hard compound tyre, but IQ isn't giving up, as IQ going around the outside there on Sue onto the exit, but he's gone deep and he's hit the wall, and he's going to have to relinquish those positions now, as Damien and Sue look to clear off on up the road. Ooh. All happening early on between these guys. Really good battling, nice and clean racing. Good to see. So everything's sort of settling down now as Rufus takes us round in towards the end of lap 5. Pablo Jr. there in second, looking good on those medium tyres. Oh, I've still got Rufus in his sights there, just up in front. He's on the medium compound tyre, which is going to go longer. As you can see there, Rufus's tyres looking a little bit sorry for themselves, and we're only on the towards the end of lap 5 now, so Rufus is going to be looking to come in either the end of this lap or probably the end of next lap at the very latest. He's worked those tyres really hard, but he might be looking, so he is staying out, so he's going to go for another one. So he might be looking to do 10 laps on the hards and 10 laps on the medium. So it'd be interesting to see what lap Pablo comes in at, whether or not he can jump him at the pit stop sections, pit stop moments. City Milk there on his own in third. Muhammad Ali just keeping himself in view on that hard compound tyre. Obviously these positions look likely to change. Everybody seems to be on very different strategies, all starting on different tyres. A few mistakes from the HKRT guys has dropped them back, so all to play for at the moment in the championship. As Damien Siu move through towards the second part of the lap. IQ then goes deep, so IQ now under pressure from Paris as they go down through the downhill section towards the bridge, and Paris is looking to make a move through this section. Really tough to make a pass here, but you might be able to send it out the inside as they enter the right-hander for the bridge, but IQ has gone defensive, kept it tight and clean on the inside there, and Paris hasn't got a way through, so Paris has dropped back a little bit. He's got the slipstream though, and he's going to be looking to tag back on the end of IQ and maybe make a move as we move towards the latter part of this lap. As IQ takes us around this long sweeping right-hander, as the tyres sound like they're just clinging on for grip there. And Paris is right in the tow now, right in that slipstream. But he's also got Speed Demon for company, so he's going to have a half an eye on the on what Speed Demon is doing. But is Paris going to be close enough to make any moves coming into the latter part of this lap? So Paris hangs out left, keeps it nice and wide going through there, looking for that cutback. But IQ's got that covered off. And now Speed Demon looking menacing behind Paris. So as we come round to the start-finish straight, this could all change going into turn one. So watch this space as Paris almost goes too deep there, but he's now got Speed Demon right on his back, on his rear wing, and IQ has taken the opportunity to start. Hang on, we hear some tyre squeal. We hear tyre squeal. What happened to Speed Demon? Because he didn't come through with the rest of the guys. So he's come round and he's coming down towards that right-hander under the brakes. Oh, he's just clipped the grass there, and that sent him round into a spin, but he's done well to save it from going all the way round, and he can get back on up the road and try and bridge that gap back. He hasn't picked up any damage, so he'll be glad of that, as we just quickly need to move back up to the Paris IQ battle that Speed Demon has taken himself out of, and see exactly what Paris is going to do to try and get his way past IQ there. Both on hard tyres, so no advantage in the compounds. This is all going to be down to the driver, or whether they're saving fuel and what they're going to be doing as they come back down through the section towards the bridge. As Paris keeps out wide and IQ tucks it in, covers off the defensive line there, and they both move forward. IQ slow on the entrance into that corner, but he's got the power down on the exit, and Paris has had to yield mid-corner due to the pace of IQ. So Paris doing well not to get too over eager. He's just buying this time there as they go through the left-hander, 90-degree left there, hard on the brakes and then powering down as Paris gets all out of shape, but he has managed to keep it in the pointing in the right direction as they move down towards the latter part of the lap. I think Paris is a little bit too far back right now to be looking at any moves, so we'll just have a little look through, see where everyone is. So Vane there in 9th after his earlier incident. He's just kept his head down and he's got those laps under his belt. And you can see Paris and IQ up in front as we got our first pit stop. So as we thought, Rufus coming in at the end of a lap 6. Oh, a Speed Demon loses it again. So we just picked that up from Speed Demon to see whether it was grass again for Speed Demon. This unfortunately caught him out as he comes down through. No, so he hasn't hit the grass. He has gone deep. Oh, he's just got a bit keen on the throttle and is spun at the rear wheels, and he's tried to catch it, but he's just spun him back the other way. Really unfortunate again from Speed Demon. He's not lost any additional places, but he has dropped back now from Vane and that battle between IQ and Paris. So he's going to have to clean up his tyres and see what he can do with his strategy for the rest of the race to make up some positions. As we got Vane coming into the pits as Rufus is just finishing his refueling part of his pit stop and heads back out. And Rufus heads back out in 8th position with Speed Demon a long way back. So Rufus has got a nice clear air ahead of him and nice clear air behind him. So if he's going to make this strategy work, he's got the best possible best possible track position now to get those lap times, those sector times consistent and keep that performance going. Speed Demon obviously still to stop, so he is out of position at the minute. Vane comes out ahead of Hoyland, so Hoyland having a rotten time of it at the back there. Not got to grips with the car, and it looks like he's had another few excursions onto the gravel, but it's great to see him persevering. Any experience is good experience, and you take the track with anyone within the URL and you're going to learn something. You just keep plucking away, and you can look back at these replays. We share them all, and you can analyze your own performance, see where other people are making time, and you know, speak to the guys that everyone within the URL is more than happy to help and chip in. So it's good to see Hoyland persevering and learning all the way, and I'm sure over the coming races, if he sticks it out, he's gonna find time and find pace in that car and learn a lot along the way. As we move up to the top, so with Rufus pitting, Pablo Jr. has taken over the lead of the race, sitting there pretty in first. A nice gap back to Tiddy Milk. Those medium tyres looking a little bit rough around the edges now, but they do look like they're gonna comfortably make that 10 lap marker. So we're looking good for a 10, probably a 10-10 6 stint there from Pablo. He's managed to fuel well as well, so looking good. Tiddy Milk in second, also on the mediums, also looking pretty much the same. Pablo's used a little bit more of that front left than Tiddy Milk, but these two guys comfortably out in front at the moment. And Mohammed Ali there in third, with Damien Lumen in his rear view, and Sue there for good measure just behind him. After starting on pole, he's made his way back up to 5th place. We have had a couple of pit stops, so not representative, but he's doing well to keep plucking away at the lap times there. And IQ seems to have broken the spirit of Paris there, as Paris has dropped back after not being able to get that move done, and he's settled in there, probably looking and thinking, I'll just manage my fuel. He's got, so IQ looks like he's not been fuel saving, because he is looking like he's going to have to come in at the end of this lap, which is going to make it interesting for his race. He might have to look at a 3-stop. Can be made to work. The pit time in this race is shorter than a lot of other tracks, so the 3-stop, as we saw Osman do in League One, as Mohammed also comes in to get rid of those hard tyres, and he's empty on the fuel pretty much, so IQ indeed has come in. The Paris is now going to get that pedal to the metal and look to do the overcut, I'd imagine. He's going to have to come in at the end of this lap, so it's all played for Paris. Can he leap IQ in the pit stop phase and move up that position and then get on after the guys ahead? So Mohammed and IQ dropping back down the field while they take on fuel, but a lot of these guys now are going to be coming in at the end of this lap, at the end of the next lap, sorry, to move into the second phase of this race, as we watch Pablo Jr. come round come along the last straight into the final section of the lap. It's we haven't got any corner names for St. Croix. It's a fictional track that I believe was brought into the Gran Turismo world in the Gran Turismo Sport days. I don't remember, to be honest, I'm not that familiar with this track from beyond then, so if it did exist before, then that is my mistake. But Either way, it's a fictional track set in what looks to be the mountain sides of France. I would imagine the south of France, but I'm not actually sure where Sainte Croix is. I believe Sainte Croix is a real place, but just not the track. So as we move in to the pit stop phase with Pablo and Tiddy Milk. So neither of them have saved any fuel really of any note, as Damien and Sue in third and fourth also come into the pits. So is Perez going to join them, or has he got enough fuel for another lap? I don't think he looked like he did from what we saw the last time we saw him. No, he has indeed come into the pits. So are these guys going to come out in front of Rufus? That's the question. Rufus was leading this race from Pablo Jr. The Pablo Jr. looks like he's going to be taking on a full tank, so Rufus does in fact go through. The Rufus has taken the lead of the race again. We missed it actually, because I was talking about Pablo and we were looking at Tiddy Milk. So we just pick that up. So Rufus goes through, and the mechanic lifts the thing. You can see Rufus going on there, and Pablo coming out just behind him. So Pablo out on the hard tyres, Rufus on the hard tyres. So these guys on the slower compound, but not going to be matching this stint, which does mean the final stint will be a soft tyre run for Pablo and a medium run for Rufus, if they do indeed stick with a two-stop. As it looks like Muhammad Ali has managed to get back up in front of Damien there. So he split Sue and Damien at the pit stop phase, or lost out to Sue, I should say, because he was running ahead of Sue. So unfortunate there from Muhammad, as Tiddy Milk comes out in third. So we're as you were really, status quo has resumed. And IQ, you can see there, comfortably ahead of Paris after the first pit stop phase has gone. So we've all come in except for Hoyland. Hoyland has come in. He looks like he's put fuel in, but he's staying on the hard compound tyre. So maybe he's trying something a little bit different. He's got nothing to lose back there, so we'll see how that strategy develops for him as the race goes on. Everything's quite spread out in the minute. Although Sue and Muhammad Ali now battling. So Muhammad Ali there looking to move back ahead of Sue. So Sue on the mediums, Muhammad on the mediums. As we come through the windy section, flat out all the way through this section, onto the 90-degree right-hand turn that takes you onto the start-finish straight. And as they go into the brakes, Muhammad just too far back to be looking to threaten, but Sue's going to be seeing him in his rearview mirror. He's going to know he's there. Muhammad's going to be looking to make sure he knows he's there, and perhaps try and force a mistake as they go through turn one. And as you can see there, Tiddy Milk isn't that far up the road, so I wonder if Tiddy Milk had a little bit of a moment that has dropped him back. So he did seem to have a bigger gap before we came through there. As Sue and Muhammad now battling it out. Oh, it looked like they were much closer then in that camera shot. And there's still a bit of a gap there. And I think this is where the closest battle is at the moment, looking at the mini-map. Everybody else looking quite spread out. These cars sound absolutely fantastic. I see you there. Has made a move on Tiddy Milk. Wasn't really paying attention to that, to be honest. So we'll have another look at that. We've got, so he's picked up the slipstream, right? Okay, that's how he's done that. He's better slipstream, and they were rubbing doors. And well, as a famous line from Days of Thunder, rubbing is racing. Rest in peace, Robert Duvall. Obviously, recently lost to the acting world at the age of 95, but famous line spoken in that film, rubbing is racing, and that is exactly what Siu and Tiddy Milk were doing there, but Siu's come off better as he moves off down to start lap 13. Unlucky for some, hopefully not for Tiddy Milk, he says. As they move now down into turn 1, but Muhammad Ali tucked right underneath the rear wing of Tiddy Milk, right in that slipstream. They go through turn 1, really fast corner. You've got to get your turn in right around there. Otherwise you can end up out on the grass quite easily, but turn in too early and you end up picking up a penalty, as Tiddy Milk found out on lap 1. As Tiddy Milk now battling with Muhammad Ali, with Damien there for company, as Muhammad really putting the pressure on now as he moves to the inside and looks to take that inside line. Is he going to be able to make that stick? He has. He's got it done before the left-hander. Really important that. Is he going to get caught out by the bump? No, he's managed to keep on the track, but Tiddy Milk coming back. Tiddy Milk down the outside now as they come into the 90-degree left-hand turn over the bridge. But Muhammad Ali has managed to get in front. But Damien looking to the outside now, looking to make a move on Tiddy Milk. Tucked right on the outside, but Tiddy Milk has held that inside line as they force each other into the exit of that corner. Damien keeping the inside line now as he moves from the outside line. He gets the move done on the sweeping right-hander there. Great stuff from these guys, really clean battling, door to door, but nothing untoward, and fantastic to see. That's clean, hard racing from these guys. And, well, Tiddy Milk's been unfortunate there. He's lost out 2 positions to Damien and Muhammad, but he doesn't look like he's going to give up. He's putting that pressure back on Damien now. So he's going to be looking to try and go with Damien and get those places back. But he's got a lot of work to do. It doesn't help he's on the hard tyres, and Muhammad and Damien both on the medium, so that would explain why they had a little bit more grip. As now we got blue flags. So blue flags, you can see there up ahead. We got Hoyland being caught by the rest of the guys. Really struggling at this race, but as I said earlier, learning every step of the way, so really good to see him sticking it out and persevering. But he has moved aside to let the guys go through under those blue flags there, and now they've gone through, I'd expect him to start picking up the pace, and there he goes. So he's going to get his head back down and start getting those sector times and working on where he can make up some time. As Rufus there out in front, with Pablo Jr. looking ever more menacing in second place. You can see that rear end of Rufus's car there, and he's going to be looking to latch onto the back of him as soon as possible to try and put that pressure on to make the jump on him perhaps into the final pit stop phase. Siu now is up into third, so after all the pit stops, after that mistake where he went from pole, from first position after a great qualifying and sticking it on pole, all the way down to, I think it was 9th or 10th at the end of the first lap. He's knuckled down, worked hard, and got his way back up to third place. A little bit of a gap back to the guys in front. But all to play for still for Siu as he looks to get a podium at the very least in his first outing in the GR2 NSX and amongst these guys. Muhammad there, still with Damien for company. It does look like they've dropped Tiddy Milk now. But Tiddy Milk has yet, you can see him just over the crest there, just at the top of the hill. He's had his spirit broken by these guys piling through. And now it's Muhammad trying to keep Damien at bay on the same compounder tyre, so no advantage. But they are battling with those lap times to make headway. So 54.6 there for Damien on the last time round, 54.8 for Muhammad. So a couple of tenths lost. but Damien had dropped a considerable amount more, dropped a couple of tenths the other way the lap before. So tit for tat at the moment as Damien looks menacing through this sweeping section before they head over the bridge, and they cleanly get over that bump and onto the bridge as they power off down towards the 90-degree left-hander that will take us round into the final section of the track. As Damien looking menacing on that outside line on the brakes. He's got the power down, a bit of a squirm there as the rear wheels light up as they move round this fast right-hander onto the straight with a kink, and Damien is going to be looking to get right up behind Grahamid in that tow and make good use of this slipstream. Is he close enough? I don't think he is. Don't think he's quite close enough to be making a move into this corner. However, he is going to be closer if he gets this right, going through towards the start-finish straight. Unless, of course, Grahamid can get the power down and get these exits hooked up on the final few corners. And it does look like Grahamid has managed that. He's, you can see there the gap has stretched out a little bit, so Grahamid keeping Damien at bay at this moment in time. And Tiddymilk can still see the guys up ahead on that hard compound tyre, so he's still got a faster compound left to come, which I think will be the soft tyres, but he's got he's doing well in there in sixth. Keep these guys in sight. So not all is lost yet. IQ there in seventh. Good race so far for him then. Some good battles, but unfortunately he lost out in those battles, but he's still hanging on there in seventh, and he hasn't even got Paris there for company anymore. They were battling earlier in the race, but the difference has been made. Speed Demon there in ninth after his few instants that he had. Settled down a little bit hopefully, and just pounding those laps in ninth place. Vane there in 10th, and Hoyland in 11th, very much out of sync but still going, so good to see, still working away there. 11th place still sees you bringing home a good set of points, so it's always worth it. You never know what that difference that might make come the end of the season. As we look back up to the top, and now Pablo Jr. much closer to Rufus now than he was last time we looked a couple of laps ago, as Rufus now diving into the pits looking on that fuel. So he's got the medium compound tyre to come, so he is going to be looking to do the final stint of 10 laps on those mediums. So he's managed to save a little bit of fuel there, so he might be okay if he can get some good laps in on those medium tyres. It all depends on what Pablo now does up in front on the hard compound tyre, while Rufus is further back. So watch this space. I think about 4 laps time we'll see Pablo come in, and then we'll see exactly how this race is going to pan out. As we go back to Rufus, see where he comes out. Is he going to come out in clear air? Is he going to have time in front of him, space in front of him to focus on what he's got to do? And he has. So he's come out in front of Paris. Got a good gap there, so he hasn't got to worry about Paris, at least for the immediate future. And a nice big gap in front of him as well. So Rufus can focus on what he needs to do on those medium tyres. He needs to get some good laps in. He didn't have much of a gap going into the pits, and of course, whilst during the next few laps, Pablo is going to be on the slower compound tyre. They are going to be nice and warm, and he's going to be comfortable on those tyres at this moment in time. He's also got the soft tyre, the soft compound still to come, which is much quicker around here than the other compounds. So Rufus really does need to get those lap times in if he is going to hold on to that net first position. But as you can see there, Paris, good stretch back, or not too far back, but far enough I would think, for Rufus to not have to worry. As we just have a little look down through the grid. So everything's spread out, but we've still got the Grahamid and Damien battle going on. Third and fourth now, with Rufus having come into the pits. So we'll stay with these guys for a little bit. I was expecting to see some more pit stoppies, if you like, around that 10 lap to go marker, but I think a lot of them are going to be, as I say that, either IQ has come into the pits for his what should be his final stop. Go the mediums. I wonder what tyre. I think he's got the softs to go, so he's got to try and get those soft tyres to last. What's that? So he's going to come across lap 17. The 8 laps he's got to get those soft tyres to go, and that's going to be a tough ask. If race 1 was League 1 race was anything to go by, because those tyres do not like to hold on to anything after about 6 or 7 laps. So he's got a lot of work to do, as Vane also comes into the pits with a half-second penalty. Must have picked that up at the latter part of the lap, because otherwise he would have served that. As Hoyland there still pounding around. So we got Pablo there looking good up top, trying to get that he's got some good consistency there, you can see on his lap times. Just wants to make sure he gets those lap times in while Rufus is further down the field. Hugh there in second after his earlier incident. Grahamid and Damien are still trading lap times as we go through into the last stages of the race. So we're into the final third of the race now, really. As Tiddy Milk comes round in fifth. Sounded like Tiddy Milk was going to be flying off there with the tyre squeal, but he isn't. He's still motoring on. So Rufus still with clear air and still with a good gap back to Paris. So looking good for Rufus if he can keep the sector times down and keep those lap times low. See what sort of lap he's doing on those medium tyres. 54.9. Have a little look for comparison. So it's comparative with Damien and Grahamid. Good lap time. So yeah, he's doing what he needs to be doing on those medium tyres with Rufus. So as Sue gets it all out of shape there. Nice save from Sue as he loses the back end and just about manages to keep it pointing in the right direction. Now Sue looking a little bit low on the fuel, so I'd imagine he's going to come in at the end of this lap. I don't think he's going to have another lap in him. Not on the fuel tank anyway. As he goes deep there and kicks up a load of gravel, he's going to be thinking he could do without that. As Vane looking like he is going to be lapped by Pablo, which he does indeed, but he gets out of the way. Pablo carries on, moves on up, moves on his way, keeps that first position. As Damien now right on the back of Grahamid. So Grahamid with the hazards on, so I'm not sure what has gone on there, whether he's had a technical issue. So the hazards are coming on just before the that fast right-hander, the final turn, and he's pulled into the pit. So whether he was letting he looks like he might have run out of fuel looking at how empty that tank is. So maybe he's whacked the hazards on to let Damien know there was a problem and that he was diving into the pits. So obviously we're now with Grahamid in the pits. As we move up and have a look, so Damien is up there, but it looks like Damien suffered a little bit through that. So as you can see, Teddy Milk is there in fourth, a little bit closer than he was originally with when Damien and Grahamid were battling it out. So either Teddy Milk has got that hammer down, or Damien has just lost a bit. Those tyres are looking a little bit suspect at the moment for grip, so Damien is going to be fighting that car under braking, turning and the exit all the way around this lap, but it does look like he will be coming in at the end of this lap. But has Grahamid managed to stretch out that gap, or has Damien managed to overcut Grahamid? So we will see as they come round to the final section of the lap. This is at the end of this lap is going to be where I expect to see the majority of the drivers coming in. You can see their fuel levels all the way down now. So yep, as expected, Pablo joins the pit lane and pulls in, with Siu coming round the final turn, and I'd imagine he's going to follow suit, which he does. And Damien looking like he will have to do the same. So all these guys coming in, Teddy Milk in as well. So all going to be down to Rufus. Has Rufus done enough? Has Rufus done enough to stay out in front, or has Pablo Jr. got his strategy spot on and leapfrogged Rufus at the pit phase? So Pablo has now stopped refueling. So Pablo is actually out of the pits, and Rufus has only just come around that final turn. So Pablo has played an absolute blinder here, and he's leapfrogged Rufus, but not just leapfrogged him. He's pulled out a gap of, well, that I would imagine, and we don't see the times on here, but that looks like about a 6-7 second gap. So great stuff from Pablo, looking good for his first win in the series. So really good stuff there, but unfortunate for Rufus, but he is still looking nailed on for second. He just has to keep Siu at bay. Rufus on the mediums, Siu on the softs. So the fastest lap of the race, which would have been done on the medium tyres. So Rufus could find himself under a lot of pressure in the coming laps. Damien there in fourth, also on the softs, with Teddy Milk in fifth on the softs, and Grahamid in sixth on the soft. So Grahamid has lost out quite considerably during that pit stop phase. So I wonder if that caused a bit of grief for him, but he has gone fastest so far. IQ then looking to stretch that soft tyre all the way to the end of this race. I would imagine it's going to be a tough ask, but he's going to do his best. That's a great livery, the split livery there on the Liquid Moly Honda NSX. It looks like Perez has fallen victim to the pit lane limits and picked up a 3-second penalty. So really unfortunate for Perez. He's been further up. It looks like we've lost. Oh, it looked like it was Hoyland he'd just been lapped. He'd swung it into the barrier. We won't show that back. He's having a rotten race, but I'm just chuffed that he's sticking it out and persevering. Every mile is full of new information for him. So Perez is now going to come around this turn here, and then he's going to serve his penalty as he enters that zone. So he will lose the 3-second penalty, and then he's going to lose further time trying to get back up the pace. So Hoyland looks like he's unlapping himself, but he has belled. Probably the right thing. It's not his race, as they both dive into the pits, do their pit stop, which is confusing really, because Perez, I would have only thought, got that 3-second penalty from a pit stop. So unless he messed up his pit stop, let's go back a lap quickly and see what happened there. So yeah, Perez has come into the pits, He's refueled, but did he change his tyres? No, so not only did he pick up a 3-second penalty, he obviously hit the wrong button and hasn't changed his tyres, so that has ruined any chance of a good position for Paris. So unlucky. As we'll just go fast forward to where he took the penalty again. But so unlucky for Paris there. He's having to come into the pits to change his tyres now after putting fuel in. He is going to be absolutely furious with himself. Because he was running midfield, and now it looks like he is going to be dropping right the way back after changing these tyres. So he now comes out on the soft tyre. And he's, to be honest though, it looks like he had a big enough gap, so he's not actually lost out. He's just lost out on the opportunity to battle with the guys ahead, so not the end of the road for Paris, but really unfortunate nevertheless. The Speed Demon there in 9th, Payne in 10th, Moylan back there in 11th place. As Pablo now comes around the final turn to start lap 23 of 26. Coming towards the end of this race now. Pablo looking good. He's got a really good... I think he's going to come to the end of the start-finish straight. Yep, so as he goes around turn 1, Rufus has just come onto the start-finish straight. So, looking comfortable for Pablo at the moment. As Sue now takes... Oh, let's go back and see this little battle here. So, Rufus, Sue looking really aggressive on there. He's done well to not get that all wrong, bounced off the wall like that. And Sue now tucked right underneath the rear wing of Rufus's NSX as they move down into turn 1. And is Sue going to get that done under before the braking zone? He does. So dives across, take the racing line onto the brakes, and round they go. And Sue has made good use of those soft tyres, and he's got that second place off of Rufus. Really unfortunate for Rufus. But now this is going to just become a podium consolidation last few laps for Rufus, as he also has Damien on the soft tyres looming in his rear view. So can Rufus hold on for a podium, or are the HKRT racing guys going to secure a double podium? As Tiddy Milk there in 5th, a little bit of a lonely final few laps for him. As for the rest of the guys, to be honest, as Grahamid comes round in 6th. Some good lap times there from Grahamid on the soft tyres. Looking at, he's got a bit of damage, so he's having a bit of a rough time of it. He's obviously up in those top places in the championship, but he's not had a brilliant time of it here at St. Croix. So he'll be kicking himself. He'll be wishing a bit more performance, perhaps. Wishing for a better strategy, taking on a better strategy. So unfortunate for Grahamid that he's dropped back a few positions, but still 6 races to go after this. So all to play for. Let's move back up and have a little look, see what is going on with the Rufus and Damien, what will be the Rufus and Damien battle now, as Damien puts in the fastest lap of the race with a 51.8. Great lap time there from Damien, and he's locked onto the back of Rufus's car. I think he's probably got a bit too much to do, but there are 3 laps still left to go. So Rufus is going to be seeing Damien in his rear view mirror. He's going to know Damien, or he may know that Damien is on those soft tyres. Hopefully his race engineer has updated him, so Rufus just needs to keep it clean. But he's going to start feeling the pressure a little bit, I'd imagine, as they come round for the final 3 laps of this race. Can he keep it together? That is the question. As Rufus comes down into the braking zone over the little bump there, you see the car getting all squirrely in that shape. Damien gets through it safely as well. So after putting in that fastest lap of the race, Damien's momentum stalled there a little bit on lap 23, but still still a second and a half quicker than Rufus's lap time on those medium tyres. So Looking at that gap there, that is probably about a 1.5 2-second gap, I'd imagine. So I think Damien is on the verge of getting into the slipstream there of Rufus. So Rufus is going to have to really work hard at defending on the last 2 laps of the race. Damien has made that ground up. Important to note that that's good consistency there from Rufus. Looking at those lap times, lap 18 through to lap 23, all in the 54s by one low 55, but still looking good. Nice and consistent, which has kept him in the mix, but perhaps a slightly wrong strategy starting on that soft tyre compound as Damien comes out of that final turn and hits the wall. He's going to be kicking himself for that because he could do with not losing any time here as he's back down into a 53.9, so he's not been able to replicate his pace from that lap 22 fastest lap. So his charge on him has stalled as we have a yellow flag there. Oh, it's Hoyland. Hoyland's lost it again. We'll leave him to it. We won't go back and have a look what happened. Like I said, he's learning every step of the way. So fair play to you. You stuck it out for the full 26 laps, I hope. And that's good. That's good experience to take into the next race. So you see there, Damien a lot closer now as we're on the halfway around the penultimate lap of this race. A little bit of squirreliness from Rufus on the exit of that corner as they come around the sweeping right-hander. Damien right in the slipstream window now, so it's going to be a last lap battle for the final spot on the podium. I can see on the mini map that everybody is quite far spread out, so I think this is going to be where the battle is. So we'll stay with these guys and see if Rufus can hold on to that 3rd place or if Damien can make those soft tyres count. He is going to be struggling now, so that would be why the lap times have sort of plummeted for Damien. He's going to cross that line with only just enough tyre to allow him to cross that line. The rules we've ran in URL, I believe there was a glitch in GT7 back in the day where if the whole tyre went red, it didn't lose any grip, so you could carry on. So the rule has been that if it goes fully red, you can complete the lap, but you have to come in. So Damien has been able to maintain that tyre enough to see out this final lap, but it does look like Rufus now will have the edge as he's got more tyre left coming towards the end of this race. So all that threatening pace from Damien behind hasn't actually come to anything by the looks of things if Rufus keep this clean as they come into the last part of this lap. We'll just go up to see where Pablo Jr. is. So Pablo Jr. up there leading comfortably from Siu, coming around that fast sweeping right-hander as well. And just have a little look down, see what Rufus and Damien are doing. They're looking like they've settled. So we'll move up. We'll see Pablo now coming round the final few turns to take the checkered flag. And drop left, flat out, all the way down through. A little bit on the brakes for this right-hander. Take the curb on the inside, and there he is across the line. Nice weave in, probably a little flash of the lights. Do we get a little flash of the lights? No, nothing like that from Pablo, but he's well chuffed, as you can see, taking his first win. Congratulations to Pablo, first win of the series. Great stuff as Siu comes home in second. Be kicking himself for not making pole position count as Rufus secures a third and Damien fourth. And it just leaves you with enough time. We're probably not going to see these guys all cross the final, the finish line as Tilly Milk comes across, and Grahamid now coming down through to finish his lap. Just enough time left on the video, on the recording for this commentary. So thank you all for watching. It's great to bring these races to you. This league has provided some fantastic battles. I look forward to bringing you the next round 5 next week.